Hi everyone, welcome to the tutorial on Y parameters. And these Y parameters are also called as short circuit admittance parameters. Like how in the case of Z parameter, uh, we got the Z parameters by open circuiting, that is making output current as zero. Say for example, you have this two port network, right? Two inputs and two outputs. So in case of Z parameters, we used to open the output current, I mean open circuit the output side, or open circuit the input side to get the input current, or to get the Z parameters. So they were called open circuit parameters. Now these are called short circuit parameters because you are shorting the output ends or input ends. Now uh, for simplicity we'll again write this two port network, right? This is input side, this is output side, and the voltage here is V1. This is the convention used, I1. This is I2. This is V2 here, plus and minus polarities. Now we know that Y parameters, for Y parameters it is I1, the input current, is a function of voltages, input voltage and output voltage, as well as output current is a function of input voltage and output voltage. So when you have a function, that means I1 is proportional to V1 and V2 in some with some equation. Then you have I1 would be equal to some constant, that is y11 V1 plus y12 V2. So from this we get the Y parameters. So I2 is y21 V1 plus y22 V2. So these are the main equations, governing equations of Y parameters. Now we'll discuss how to get the Y parameters from the input parameters, that is input current and voltage, and output current and output voltage, and hence we'll represent the two port network in terms of Y parameters. So the bottom line of this discussion is we are going to represent this two port network in terms of Y parameters, right? As I have done it in the previous video, I have represented two port network in terms of Z parameters. Now the whole idea is for you to make this argument in solving the problem, right? So you will be asked to find Z parameter equivalent of the circuit or Y parameter equivalent of the circuit, or be it H parameter, or the further topics you will have T parameter as well. So we'll find out the Y parameters by making one of the independent variables 0, right? So here I would make, in the first case, I would make V2 is equal to 0. Now what is V2? Making V2 is equal to 0. See, you have the circuit here making V2. This is having some voltage V2. Now in order to make V2 as 0, we should short the output terminal. So it would be like this. Now why short? Now why should we short the output terminals? Because when you short the output terminals, the resistance of output terminal is 0, or impedance, or whatever you want to call it. Resistance is 0. So what will be the voltage? It is I into R. If resistance is 0, voltage is also 0. So we want to make, correct? We want to make the voltage to be equal to 0. So that means we short the output terminal so that we get V2 is equal to 0. V2 becomes 0 because the resistance of shorted terminal is 0. Now if V2 is equal to 0, what do we get from equation number 1? Substituting V2 is equal to 0 in equation 1, you get I1 is equal to Y11 V1. From this Y11, you will get it as I1 by V1, correct? So this I'll take it as equation 3. Similarly, I'll write it in V2 in equation 1, and here V2 is equal to 0 in equation 2. So what do you get when you put V2 is equal to 0? So you get I2 is equal to Y21 into V1. So what is Y21? It is I2 by V1. This is equation number 4. Now what is the other condition possible? You need to have a look at the equations. So we have already said V2 is equal to 0. Next step is to set V1 is equal to 0, right? This one to be equal to 0. Now we'll do that. Second case here, it is V1 is equal to 0 in equation 1. Now if you set V1 is equal to 0, you will get I1 is equal to Y12 V2. So Y12 will be I1 by V2. This will become fifth equation. Now similarly, V1 is equal to 0 in equation 2. Okay, the 1 and 2 becomes these are the governing equations. Governing equations of Y parameter, right? So if you put V1 is equal to 0, what you get is I2 is equal to Y22 V2, correct? So from this, Y22 is equal to I2 by V2. This is sixth equation. Now what is the unit of Y parameters? It is current by voltage. What do you have as a unit when you have voltage by current, V by I? It is resistance, ohms. So here the unit will be mho, right? The unit Y parameter is the reciprocal of ohm, that is mho, right? So we have got the different parameters of Y, that is Y11, Y12 here, Y21 and Y22. Now in the second case, how did we get? We had made V1 is equal to 0. V1 is equal to 0 means it is nothing but shorting this terminal, right? Because V1 initially here you had voltage V1. Now shorting means the resistance between these two terminals will become 0. When resistance is 0, the voltage will automatically become 0. So that is the logic that is used here. Okay. So we have got the Y parameters. Now we'll represent the Y parameters in terms of matrix. So Y parameters can be represented as I1, I2 here, and this would be Y11, Y12, Y21, Y22 into V1 and V2, a matrix. So the same way we had represented Z parameter, wherein you had V here on the left side and I on the right side. So if you have any doubt regarding this matrix convention, you please go back and check my video on Z parameter representation of two-port network. So this is the matrix representation of Y parameters. Next would be, we'll be representing the equivalent circuit of Y parameter. So now what is the equation that we have in case of y parameter is I1 is equal to y11 y11 v1 plus y12 v2. I'll write as governing equation 1. This is I2 as y21 v1 plus y22 v2. This is governing equation 2. Now here in Z parameter equivalent, we had written a circuit by taking KVL into consideration, or Ohm's law, right? Here, since it is admittance parameters or short circuit parameters, we need to take current into consideration. Okay, so basically the basic concepts will remain the same. This is I1 on the input side, V1 is a voltage, and in the output side you will have I2, and this will be V2, right? So the input side will look like this. You have input voltage V1 here, and output side V2, correct? So and the current at the input side it is I1, and at the output end it is I2. Now we know that here we have the equation in terms of I1, that is I1 and I2, that is governing equations in terms of I1 and I2. So we know that from the Kirchhoff's current law, a current which enters, say for example I, right, and it may leave that enters the branch, and it may leave that branch, it enters a node. This is not a branch, it is a node. It enters a node and splits into two currents, I1 and I2. So there is a equation that governs this condition, that is the main current which enters splits up into I1 and I2. So if you say 5 ampere and current enters this node A, then if 2 ampere and current flows through this path, then this path should have 3 ampere. So this is the way in which the Kirchhoff's current law works. If you have any doubt regarding this, you please have a look into my KCL and KVL tutorial in my playlist. Now, so here applying the same KCL to this, I1 is the main current that flows here, I1, and it splits up into this part as well as this part, right? So this is the first part is nothing but an impedance that will come in parallel, okay, with the value of y11. Now why? Because you know the current is nothing but voltage by resistance, and 1 by resistance is admittance, right? So you get V into Y, right? V into Y. So the same logic is being used here, right? So what happens here is the current I1 comes here, it splits into this part as well as one more part which we cannot represent in the input side by using input currents. So because you have V2 term which is nothing but V2 that is present at the output end. So this will be a current source with the value Y1 to V2, okay. So the basic understanding is current I1 that is flowing here splits up into this current as well as this current. So it will be I1 is equal to V1 Y11 V1 Y11 plus this current, that is V2 Y12. So that hence you'll get this, the governing equation number 1. So left hand side of the circuit represents the first governing equation. So second would be, since you have a V1 term here to the output, so V1 is present on the input side, so we cannot represent it by any other form. So it has to be a dependent current source with a value of y21 v1, and you'll have a parallel impedance with the value of y22, right? So this circuit is y parameter equivalent of two port network. Okay, now what is the difference between the y parameter and z parameter equivalent is, you had in z parameter you had a series load and you had a dependent voltage source. Here also to the output side you had dependent voltage source and the load, right? So same thing, v1 i1, the convention, this is v2 and this is i2, right? And you had the governing equations as v1 is equal to z11 i1 plus z12 i2. This was the first governing equation in terms for z parameters, and v2 was z12 i1 plus z21 z21 i1 plus z22 i2. So this was the second equation. Now the left hand side, that is input side is towards the left. This side, this is input side, this is output side. So input side should follow the Kirchhoff's voltage law, right? So v1 is here plus and minus. So if you apply v1 the KVL, minus to plus is plus v1, and you will have i1, and this would be z11, and this second term, that is i2, you have i2 on the input side, but i2 is a current which is present on the output end, so you will have a dependent voltage source, that is z12 i2, and here to the output side you will have v2 and you will get z22 i2, right? And this would be z12 i1, just because i1 is a part of input circuit, so you can represent it by only the dependent voltage source with the value of z12 i1. So z parameter representation of this is z parameter representation of two port network. I have done a separate video for this, you can check my playlist. So Z parameter representation of two port network will follow Kirchhoff's voltage law, whereas the Y parameter, which is exactly opposite of Z parameter, will follow Kirchhoff's current law. So but the basic understanding is both the circuits will follow the governing equations, like, so Z parameter should satisfy these two governing equations and Y parameters should satisfy the the equations which are represented here in terms of current. So here for Z parameter, the voltages are depending on the current, whereas in Y parameters the currents are dependent on voltages. So if you know the two equivalent circuits of two port network in terms of Z parameters or Y parameters, then you can solve any problem, or you can have a command over any problem of two port network. So this one here is the Y parameter equivalent of two port network. I hope I've made it clear, because this follows KCL and the Z parameter follows KVL. Thank you for